Let's actually start the episode with our new weekly thing that we're going to be doing. It's called the Big City Greens episode reviews.
Bingo bango.
Because we new episodes are coming out for Big City Greens throughout October, and a lot more episodes are coming out pretty soon. So why not be able? Well, since we're big fans of Big City Greens, we'll go ahead and talk about Big City Greens. So this is an episode where Bill meets his favorite comedian, and then he turns out to be a fraud, and then you get to see Cricket try to be a comedian as well.
Yeah, like first things first, I love the way that they capture stand-up comedy in general, where it's pretty much when you go into a comedy show, you know for a fact that they're going to roast the hell out of you.
It's not really roasting. It's more towards like they have their own comedy bits. Like there's that one girl that did roasting. The other one is just regular old jokes about farming.
Yeah, so it really does depend on what style of comedy that each comedian goes for, but brace yourselves for the ones that do the roasting. The ones that don't do the roasting, kick back and relax.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's pretty much all the synopsis of the episode, but let's actually just get through like most of the scenes here. Like you get to see Bill, become a fan. Like, he's a fan.
Bill's such a fanboy. Look at that. Bill's such a huge fan.
He literally watches him on YouTube like every day, and now he gets to see him in person. Did you see that part where he was the last person in line and he couldn't be able to actually get an autograph?
Yeah, it's like such a relatable moment. As someone who goes to cons, I felt that.
Dude, so I had a friend who was going to get autograph tickets for AX, and he was the last person to not get a ticket. He was the first person to not get a ticket. Like the person in front of him was literally like the person that got the last ticket. And so he was like literally on his fours, just like down, his head down. It is the worst feeling ever, especially the fact that you're literally next. You could have just done something like, hey, could you just make another ticket, and then we could be able to see our favorite actor and actress,
Yes. Needless to say, whenever I go to conventions, I'm pretty much this.
So you're
in terms of guests.
So that one guest that you met, let's see, Amity's voice actress, were you like that?
May Whitman, I was.
Did you actually have to wait 2 hours in line to get her autograph, or?
Jess and I did, yeah. And also, actually, the closest that I've been to, becoming that was when I got to meet my favorite voice actor, John Bosch.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
JYP was the greatest of our lives.
Yes, Mr. Ichigo and Lelouch Lamperouche.
The latter being my favorite anime character ever.
Yeah. Did you play that game, by the way? The new Code Geass Lost Stories game?
Yes, and I'm addicted to it.
Wait, what level are you on now?
So I've gone through the tutorial. Now I'm pretty much at the mode where I pretty much set up. I'm at the main menu now.
There you go. So. All right, so you're at level 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We'll compare our stats later. So I also get this part here where Tilly talks about classic comedy, literally just slipping on a banana and make the funnies,
Come on, Tilly. That's grandma's comedy. That's old comedy.
So here's the part here that I was wanting to talk about, where Cricket wants to talk about roasting as well. And, she's a perfect, roaster of a person. She, looks at somebody on the audience, and then they just roast them. And they get a laugh and stuff like that. But according to Cricket, he doesn't know how to handle, being roasted. Yeah. And so it actually starts to get a little offensive for him.
And then Cricket tries to get back at her by saying, you're stupid. And I'm just Cricket, I'm not sure that's not
how roasting is. It's you just say this.
That's how roasting
is. Roasting is you just say that. You don't say anything about her hair. You don't say anything about her necklace or her pants or anything like that, I
mean, to be fair, when you look at her, there's not really much you can roast, about her. I mean, look at that. She looks
pretty neat.
She looks pretty attractive. She looks pretty gorgeous.
Maybe something about her hair, or is it so blue? You know what?
I mean, I guess you could go for the ripped pants. That's pretty much
maybe the ripped pants. Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh,
Cricket, why did you go for the ripped pants?
He doesn't know how to do a roast. He just does some random teasing instead of jokes.
Yeah, because as we all know, there are no comedy clubs in the countryside.
Yeah. So, Cricket wants to try to roast, and then he ends up getting all sweaty, not knowing how to roast, and he actually ends up losing to the audience. So, oh man, I just feel bad for Cricket because what was it? That one Jennifer girl, she ends up continuing to roast Cricket, and then it made him run away from the stage and everything. So it really offended him and all.
Yeah, poor kid. Look at that. You can feel for the poor kid. Yeah. It's just he literally got embarrassed on stage in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, poor Cricket, though. He had to deal with the whole embarrassment there. But then we have to look back at, this one fake, apparently. So Bill and Alice wanted to get, Alice wants to get Bill's like wish done and wants to meet this one guy. And then when he literally went backstage, I really love the fact that like when he went backstage, this guard who was also like the bouncer of that one club we saw in Clubbed, he actually let him go because of that one joke. And I'm like, what?
Hey, Bill, bit of advice, buddy. Never meet your heroes.
Yeah. So when they actually went to the backstage and actually saw this one dude, he ends up becoming a fraud. He turns out to be an Englishman, not a real farmer.
Ooh, which doesn't sit well for Bill.
Yeah, because Bill was pretty much heartbroken from that. Yeah, I know. So yeah, in this one part here where Bill actually becomes the MC, he tries to set him up for failure.
Yeah, I mean, look at the way that Bill like looks at him, and then he's got that phone, raised up. He's be like, "I got you now, boy."
Yeah, he was asking questions of something stupid like how to fix a tractor, how to do all of this, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Well, look, Bill's face right here is pretty priceless.
I know. There's a lot of faces that I want to put up in this montage here, but yeah, I mean, Bill definitely. I'm not gonna be surprised. Like, if you saw your star like become a fraud, you would do the same thing, right? You have your heart's broken. You want to expose him for being a fraud.
Yeah, like I would expose the hell out of someone like if I found they were a fraud. It's just like, because I want to save, the audience the same heartbreak I felt. So
yeah, see, so like I mean, like this would be ultimate revenge for that one star. So I feel for Bill in that case, just because he had to go through just pretty much seeing your star and you never met your heroes, like what Omid said. So yeah. But then you also get to see the story of this one guy. Like he's apparently an English boy who has a dad who's a farmer. But the thing is, like, he was raised to know comedy more than just farming.
You know what he looks like? Like, he looks like if Gideon Gleeful...
I was going to say, because it looks like Gideon.
He looks like if Gideon was one of the founding fathers.
Oh, my God.
I mean, look at the kid.
A little Gideon. Look at him, though. He's like, well, I mean, he's short. He has, like, George Washington's hair.
Gideon Washington. He's Gideon Washington.
Well, here's what I like about this like backstory is because like he is a farmer sorta because his dad is a farmer, but he doesn't like farming, so he did the same thing as trying to be a best at farming, but doing it as a comedian instead of being a farmer.
Yeah, like I like the fact that he like it was based on his father being a farmer and how much respect he had for his father
So,
that it made him build his identity as someone who does comedy all based around farming. It's like massive respect for the guy.
Yeah, it's really respectful. And the fact that like I just love this whole backstory for him. I mean, well, it's like a little topsy-turvy. We're like, Bill does it for farming and he does farming for a long time. This is just more of like him just doing comedy, but then the comedy is actually reflecting towards his dad, which is, pretty amazing.
Yeah, in a way, his comedy is like a tribute to him.
Oh yeah, and it definitely
it's
definitely a family thing, and it definitely really it makes sense why like when Bill started to like call him out, and then when everybody started to boo him, now he regrets it. So yeah. But now everybody, I just hate the fact that like the audience like say like, hey, he's a fraud, take him out of the comedian club or something.
He's a good fraud though.
Yeah, he's a good fraud, but then the thing is like that.
He's still kind of a fraud.
It was Bill's fault for like calling him out like that.
I mean, he's still kind of a fraud regardless, but like he's not the type of fraud that does it for greed. He does it for like I said before, out of love. Not greed, it's out of love, rather.
I guess so. Yeah, that's true actually. But nonetheless, I mean, he still will do this comedy act, and hopefully, like as he tours around like the country and stuff like that, he'll not have that secret be revealed. Hopefully nobody from that comedy club knows about the fraud part. Okay, so yeah, now we can see the whole backstory of this comedian. But you also got to go back to cricket because he really was down in the dumps after what happened to him.
Hey, you could definitely say he was down in the dumps.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was putting that joke up there, by the way. I was one who said that. So
good one.
But yeah, yeah, I can totally see cricket like being offended and like, getting hella sad because of that. But I like this part here where like Tilly actually laughed at all of his jokes.
Yeah,
See, it tells you how Tilly is just an amazing sister.
They have such a strong sibling dynamic, and I just love the show for it. Like Cricket and Tilly's sibling relationship is really strong.
Mhm.
Look at the way she pats Cricket's head. Look at the way she pats Cricket's head.
I know. It's so cute. And either way, like it's just awesome to see like that bond between Cricket and Tilly. Like they've had their fights here and there, but in the end, they're still little brother, big sister.
That's how siblings are. Siblings are usually like that.
Yeah, please have like these siblings be like amazing together. Maybe like have Tilly support Gabrielle and Cricket.
Yeah, like I would imagine Tilly being a huge like Cricket and Gabriella shipper.
Cricketella or something.
Cricketella. Sort of like how Anne was a huge Spivey shipper.
Oh yeah.
Have Tilly have the same energy.
Oh my god. So it's having that amphibia vibe right now. So yeah, I mean, so Cricket is being relieved by Tilly, but the thing is, like, I mean, he wants to get her back, but we'll talk about that later. But obviously we get to see the one comedian get like hella exposed that he's a fraud, but now Bill comes back and pretty much says jokes at the end, and then he also gets egged. gets thrown tomatoes and like a lot of things.
Yes, tomatoes, yeah.
But here's the thing about it. They were all looking for a real farmer, but this is a comedy club. They wanted some laughs, so they have to bring in that one guy back.
Yeah. I mean, look at poor Bill. He's getting like tomato, but then here comes his hero to save the day.
Yeah, and in the end, everybody started laughing and all that, and they also having a fun time in the comedy club.
Yeah, I actually want to see more of this guy in the future because his backstory is really intriguing to me.
I don't know about that. Usually, those characters that just come in, they don't really get another callback or anything.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing this character I think deserves more attention in my opinion.
Maybe, yeah, I would say maybe. So all's well and ends well when it comes to Bill and Alice, helping this man out, even if he was a fraud. But nonetheless, I think that he's still a fan of him, no matter what. But what happened to Cricket and this Jennifer girl? Well,
Tilly got the right idea.
Tilly did the same thing. Did her comedy bit, and it actually bit Jennifer in the butt.
Yeah, needless to say that I actually found this joke to be very appealing.
Oh my god!
This is quite an appealing.
Why are you putting the joke up now? Come on! Oh god!
I swear, I went bananas.
Stop! Oh my god! Okay, are you Luann now? Do you have the vibe of Luann here?
Yeah, she's actually looking at this and she's like, she's proud of me. It's like, I'm so proud of you.
Oh my god! All right. Anyways, like the episode was actually not bad. I really liked it. Enjoyed it really a lot. And it also just gives me like a big sense of like, some other side characters that Bill is like, he could be a big fan of like comedians, and also just tells like how Cricket can approach comedy and kind of like bite him in the butt. But in the end, there's people that are going to support him when it comes to his comedy, and
Tilly being one of them.
Yeah. So I thought that was like I said, a really good episode.
Yeah.
How about you?
Definitely. I loved how he captured like different types of comedians and captured it very well. And the Greens were really used in this episode. So yeah, I definitely say that this was definitely quite an experience. Like it definitely felt like going to a comedy club itself. You just there to have a good time. I had a good time.
Oh yeah. So yeah, really good episode for this show. All right, let's move over to the next new episode that came out also for Big City Greens called Green Trial. This episode is where after cleaning up after doing some chores, Cricket is found being guilty of eating cake, and because of this sibling bond thing, Cricket wants to prove he's innocent, so he asks Tilly to help her out.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Nancy is the one that accuses Cricket of doing so, and she herself is on the opposite side, where she pretty much think of it like this: Tilly is a defense attorney, Nancy is a persecutor.
Pretty much. Well, Nancy's a judge. She was technically the one person to say who's guilty, who's not guilty.
Well, she's more like a persecutor and judge at the same time.
Yeah, I guess in that case.
So yeah, court is now in session.
So let's actually start stuff before court, where they were doing their chores. Cricket wasn't able to do so because apparently he broke his arm. And the thing is, at the end, they actually ended the whole thing early, that they wanted to taste Nancy's cake. And Nancy's cake was apparently like something that she made before, when she was living with her dad before.
And you could tell that Nick is enjoying that cake frosting a little too much.
Well, the thing is, like, was it Nancy wants to make a cake, and Nick is just being Nick. He's just, being a jerk pretty much. So, it used to be a fun moment where you get this. I like how Nancy pretty much said, like, we always bond together with making that cake, and then they bond like this.
Yeah. Look at that. Nancy's like, hey, you're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to like the frosting.
Yeah.
I love the dirty look that like Nancy gives to Nick. It's such a cute father daughter.
No, she literally like blew raspberries. I'm like, well, then again, their bond is pretty much like a rivalry to say, because like when you see like the past times where Nancy and Nick used to like hang out together, it's more like, Nancy tries to impress, like Nancy's like, hey, like I have like awesome pants, and then Nick like hates it and stuff like that.
Yeah, like what I like about it, like it shows how like the Greens have always had this parent-child rivalry. Look at Cricket and Bill, for example. Cricket and Bill, as much as they love each other, they do tend to butt heads.
Yeah, same with Nancy and Bill. Oh, sorry, same with not Nancy and Bill. Alice and Bill. They've had that moments too.
Alice
Remember when Bill wanted to become a gymnast and Alice wants him to be the best? Yeah, that episode was fun. All right, so let's move over ahead. They wanted to enjoy the cake, but the cake has been stolen. The cake has been eaten. What happened to the cake?
Who done it?
But the thing is, who's the only person that was there in the house? Cricket. So the whole family was accusing Cricket of stealing the cake.
So it wasn't the butler that did it this time. The butler didn't do it because there was no butler.
Yeah. So everyone was blaming. Like especially Nancy. Nancy was definitely blaming Cricket that he ate the cake. But in a frantic moment where Cricket wanted to prove his innocence, he called for like a sibling like bond or something like that. I forgot what the name was, but Tilly and Cricket were supposed to like work together to make sure that he's innocent. So Tilly called a trial.
Yes. Look at Tilly. Like she means business right there when she gets this serious.
Well, I mean, they did the whole sibling thing, so I'm assuming that Tilly would like to focus definitely more on that. And then throughout the whole trial sequence, you get to hear like the Law and Order like theme song and stuff like that, and the Judge Judy theme songs and things.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, dun, dun,
So
dun.
like in the background where they're trying to do the trial, you get to hear like all of those like crime. Like the whole like late night, like the whole like prime time like shows that you get to hear when it comes to like those music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look how elegant that Tilly looks here. Like,
how'd she get that perm and that hairdo to say?
Yeah, I mean, like it's not the first time we see her dressed that fancy. There was this one episode in which Tilly and Nancy go to the mall.
Oh, that one too. Yeah, but then she was trying to find her identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying like she is pretty much she can dress in anything.
Yeah,
that's what I like about Tilly is that you can put her in any situation, any atmosphere, and she can definitely make it work.
Yeah, and to say the least, like I know that she's trying to become like a lawyer to pretty much say all this kind of stuff here and there, or a prosecutor.
She's pretty much how they put it. She's pretty much Phoenix Wright in this. Like, she's pretty much what would happen if Big City Greens took a Ace Attorney approach.
Yeah, in that case, I would say that she would be acting like, Phoenix Wright in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go straight to video game references now, are we?
Tilly Wright.
Okay. So we get to see stories where like Nancy would actually make some predictions about what happened to the cake. So
I would have said Phoenix Green, but let's be honest, they already have a dog named Phoenix.
Well, that's true, yeah. But yeah, I mean, here's this story where like, Nancy put up a scenario where like Cricket was, just not doing his chores. So in the end, they all end up eating cake.
I kind of like how, in the flashback or what is interpreted as a flashback, you see evil Cricket, like, the evil eyes, like the black eyes in the background. And then you see him like this cartoonishly evil 1930s villain mustache.
Yeah. So he's like trying to be that huge villain that you get to see. He's like, I'm gonna get my cake and all. Yeah. It's like a Waluigi or something.
I'm gonna steal the cake.
So yeah, in this part here, we get to see Alice's like 3 points where like he stole the cake. He got off chores for doing the cake, and then there's like this sweat stain where like he was where he was sweating after eating the cake and things like that. But you know, as you're in like trials and stuff like that, you do all these objection stuff here and there. I mean, even Tilly did her own objection.
Objection!
Yeah, he did her own objection.
Yes, I love it.
Oh my god, this was great, by the way. Just seeing that, I was like, wait, all these poses that I get to see. I'm like, why don't we have more epic moments like this? You know, why don't we have big city greets have epic moments like this?
Yes. Look at that. Like, you know, she really does, especially with the finger point. Like, you know, the powerful finger point. Well, that's the best part of it.
Yeah. So Tilly will do whatever it takes to make sure Cricket is innocent. But one big thing that happened was, that arm is moving. That is not broken.
Now that's kind of a huge red flag right there, because keep in mind, Cricket said that he was injured, therefore he couldn't be able to do the chores. But then you see that Cricket was lying all along. And it's like, if he was lying about a broken arm, what makes you think that he wasn't lying about eating the cake?
So this is that one thing here where like I think the tables have flipped, because like I think like the whole family was assuming that Cricket was innocent until he started doing that, and it's like, this is not good now.
Even Tilly is in disbelief. Like, Tilly is in huge disbelief. She's
well,
just
the thing
like,
is, like when they committed to that one sibling promise or something like that. If it all goes wrong, then Tilly doesn't trust Cricket anymore.
Yeah.
So that shocked face makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, man, look at that face. It's just like the face of betrayal.
You betrayed me, brother. I thought you're the best brother that I had. You betrayed me, brother. Oh, and there's also another thing that also came up. Oh no, he had strawberry in his arm.
Another red flag, ladies and gentlemen. Another red flag.
He has strawberry in his arm, and Tilly is trying to do her best to at least make sure that it's not strawberry, but especially after tasting that frosting, that is strawberry. So,
yeah.
Oh no,
things ain't
looking good.
Things ain't looking good for our country, boy.
Yeah. So what happened after that was, well, it seems that everything. Well, they went to recess, and the thing is, like, obviously the siblings are trying their best to at least try to prove Cricket is wrong. And then I think like Nancy, Bill, and Alice were pretty much saying like, yeah, it's his fault, you know, that kind of thing. They're about to like say he's guilty, but there's this side story here where Cricket was apparently like doing this broken arm thing so that he could talk to her girlfriend, to his girlfriend.
Okay, shippers, get ready to hear this. Shippers, get ready to hear this.
He wants to talk to his girlfriend, Gabriella.
Yeah, and so he tries to, you know, pretty much portray himself like he tried to be cool and all that. You even get to see him in like his emo style hair in this,
like that. Oh, sorry. Like that.
I just love this.
Sup, Gabs.
Sup, Gabs. Look at that. It's like he really does pull off that emo style well. So
the thing that's really embarrassing is the fact that he takes like 30 minutes to prep himself up before getting that call with Gabriella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like either way, let's go back to where I was here. This kind of makes sense now that Cricket did this broken arm thing so that he can at least skip out so he can be able to talk to Gabriella, which kind of flips the script now, and it kind of makes Tilly say like, we have another story here. Again, more epic poses.
Another objection.
It's more like I have to prove something. I love the fact that after this scene here, she pretty much admits that Cricket did eat the cake.
I like how Cricket, like in the background, he's like smiling. It's just like, that's my sister.
But then like go to the next scene after that, then you get to hear like Cricket get a little bit disappointed in Tilly, because Tilly is just pretty much proving that Cricket is guilty.
Oh my god.
But Tilly did have proof this time. For once, I love how Cricket actually drew Gabrielle in this.
That's so cute. That's so cute.
Well, again, they're like, you know, cool together. They're ship and all.
Yes.
So then we also go to all 3 points that Alice was talking about. First off, number 1, Cricket may have not eaten the cake because he was being nervous at, you know, talking to Gabriella. So he did all these singing things and he messed up the whole kitchen because of that.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That kitchen's kind of a mess.
Yep. But then again, he wants to talk to Gabriella, so he wants to like sing it out so he can make sure that he's not nervous.
That's true.
Yeah. So no, good for Cricket, but then still a bad way to look at it, just considering that the cake is gone. The sweat things that Alice was talking about. The sweat things that Nancy was talking about. there it is. He's pretty much was just like using it as like a way to take away the sweat and all that he was dancing with. So there's that. And then in part 3, we actually get to see the whole entire video where he just tried to prep himself up, and you get to see all the videos that he was like apparently spending 30 minutes of just like prepping himself up and then skipping out on chores because he could talk to Gabriella. Yeah. It's, it's so weird.
So we have a motivation why. Like, we have a reason why he decided to skip out on chores, not because he's lazy or anything, which I thought at first. I thought it was like, okay, Cricket, like, you fake being injured to get out of work, you lazy.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning towards that too, because I was thinking like, all the points were leaning towards it, but until the Gabriella story came out, and it's like, okay, maybe there's a chance that he may have been innocent from that. Yeah. And in the end, Nancy did say that Cricket is innocent, not guilty, and I love the fact that they're cheering for that.
Yes, it was a victory.
It was a victory, yes. So Cricket didn't end up eating the cake, which is amazing. But the problem is the cake is gone. Who really ate the cake?
Who done it?
Yes.
Who done it?
Who done it? And this last minute of the episode actually shows who ate it. First off, the arms were one thing, the yellow arms. And I was thinking back there, I was like,
I thought it was Alice.
I thought Alice too. Yeah, I was thinking it was Alice. Yeah, because she may have eaten the cake.
It's the wrinkly arms.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the wrinkly arms and all. I was thinking maybe it was Alice that ate it. But the thing is, like, I think she's short, so she can't be able to reach from the top. So you're kind of wondering, like,
unless she, well, here's the thing: she's resourceful enough to have a ladder.
Maybe. But yeah, I was thinking the weak arms and stuff. And I love the fact after seeing this, Nancy knows who it is, and it turns out to be his dad. Her dad is back.
It's Grandpa Nick.
It's Nick. It's her dad. And I think I think Cricket and Tilly had never met him before.
Wow, who would have thought that you would be framed by your grandpa for eating cake?
Yeah. Again, it's Nick. I'm assuming Nick has never lost his
Hey, Grandpa Nick, you framed me for eating the cake.
I was thinking like maybe Nick is still having that bad side of him where he's doing all these like sleazy deals, things here and there. And so he just comes up randomly to Nancy's house or the Green's house and just ends up stealing a cake or something.
Makes me wonder how they're going to handle his character in the next episode, because from what we see here, it's actually a 2-parter.
It is a 2-parter, yes.
It's going to be to be continued, so we're going to see more of this guy.
Yeah, next week, the next time we're going to do another episode of the Animation Podcast, we will be talking about the new episode that will have, Cricket and Tilly hang out with Nick.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a 30-minute episode where, like, for example, Cricket and Tilly were able to see their mom again.
Yeah, so, like there's so much you could do with Nick already. Like, will you have, Nick spending time with, his grandchildren and then Grandma Alice gets jealous? Or will you have Nancy Green try her best to, reconnect with her father, but then it's going to be tough because of, Nick's background and all that stuff? Or both.
I just really hope it's not a big influence for Cricket to start becoming bad, because, he could be a good kid, bad kid, depending on who is like teaching him. Because
he needs to say he's going to be the devil in Cricket's shoulder.
Because like the thing is, like, when Tilly and Cricket saw Nancy again, what was it? Cricket didn't want to be the good kid, so that's why he ended up releasing animals to the zoo. I don't know what will happen when he meets up with Nick.
He'll probably be worse than Nancy in terms of influence.
I would say so.
Yeah, he'll be the devil in Cricket's shoulder.
Pretty much,
the devil in Cricket's shoulder, where it's like he's going to lead him down the path that rocks.
Oh, that's not gonna be good. And hopefully Tilly reasons with Cricket or something, or reasons with Nick, because she's too pure to not be a bad girl. Yet again, we saw her be a bad girl one time.
Yeah, Tilly Trouble. I remember that.
It was a good episode.
It was a good I will say, it was interesting to see Tilly take this bad girl approach. And I do like the message at the end that Grandma Alice gives out. Like, the message of the show is something that I try to take in every single day that I live, because it's a really important message in life.
Yeah. And so, now it makes us think, what will happen in the next episode, because that definitely is the one big thing that we have to watch.
Yeah. Like Cricket has an angel and a devil on his shoulder. Like, he already does have an angel and devil on his own, according to that one episode. But, have the angel and devil be in different forms, where you got, his sister Tilly as the angel, and then you got this guy as the devil.
That's right. I'm just gonna say here for the next episode, this is gonna be quite an interesting feeling that I got, where like Cricket would become a bad kid, and maybe Tilly would probably lead him over to being good again.
Cricket trouble.
Yeah,
you already got Tilly trouble. You got we don't get Cricket trouble.
Also, shout outs to Billy West, who did the voice of Nick.
Yes.
He's still the same old Nick.
Billy West is an iconic legend.
Dude, he started from Doug all the way to now. He spent 30 years of like voice acting. He's still a legend,
including Fry for Futurama.
Yeah, and he's still doing Futurama right now. So
yes,
yeah. I don't know. He kind of sounds like Roger to me when I first heard of it. So.
And like he has voiced a few Futurama characters, also like Zap Brannigan is another example.
Yeah,
and all that.
More Futurama, huh?
I love Futurama.
Yeah, it's a really great show. So I haven't seen the new show. Is that good?
The new series does hold up.
Okay. I'll have to check that out later. Oh, but so to say the least, this episode was actually good. I did like the whole trial thing that the Greens had to go through, but then that twist at the end definitely took the cake.
Yes, and also. Shout outs Farnsworth and Zoidberg.
Okay.
What about Zoidberg?
So man, Billy West did a lot for Futurama, huh?
That's what I like about Billy West, like him as an actor in general. He has that range. He has that voice acting range.